So when I heard the topic of the people that made me, I thought of creation stories, and I wanted to research creation stories. And so I fell upon a creation story of the Hopi Indians of northern Arizona. So we're tying it all together here, folks. In the beginning, there was infinite space. There was no time, there was no shape, there was no life. There was only the Creator and the Spider Mother. Between them, they had a thought that they should make something finite. And so the Creator started pulling together matter from all across the universe to form 9 planets. And on that third planet, they decided that they would go about the formation of life. This was the task of the Spider Mother. And so she had drawn up some of the soil and created the first 2 beings. They were twins. Their names, Eco and Echo. Eco's job was to circle the globe and to stabilize it. Echo's job was to circle the globe and to bring forth vibrations and sound so that all the future inhabitants would be in touch with the Creator. They placed Eco at one pole and Echo at the other pole in order to set that world in motion, creating the perfect environment to bring forth life. Spider Mother began to bring forth life. She brought forth 4 different races: yellow, red, white, and black, male and female. Had them go forth and start populating this world. And they did. They started populating. They were living together with the animals in this luscious, beautiful world. But soon, they started focusing more on their differences than on their similarities. And as always happens when we focus on our differences, fighting started breaking out. The Creator saw this and said, "This is no good." And so he decided that he was going to rid the planet. He found, though, that there were a few that still remembered the Creator in his plan. And so he instructed Spider Mother to take those few deep underground where they would be safe. For how he had decided he would rid this planet was with fire. And so he took them Spider Mother took them deep underground where they would be safe. And they were down there for a long time because it took a long time for this planet to cool. And eventually they climbed back up into the second world. Now this second world was not nearly as beautiful as the first world. And the people, they started populating and multiplying again, even more rapidly than before. This time, however, they lived in villages. And they decided they learned that they could trade for goods amongst the different villages. And they soon preferred trading and gathering of things more than focusing and remembering the Creator. This went on, and the Creator again decided that this was no good, for people were forgetting why they had been created. So he again decided that he would destroy that world. And how he did it this time is he had Eco and Echo, who had been positioned at the poles, to leave their spot. And as they did, the world started tipping and turning and coming out of its normal revolution. Mountains started sliding, water covered everything. And then, because it was out of its revolution, the planet turned to ice. But before this had happened, the Spider Mother had again taken the people down underground where they would be safe. Finally, Eco and Echo returned to their poles, and the world turned back into a normal revolution and began to thaw. And so for a second time, they came climbing up through and came into the third world. Now this world also was not nearly as beautiful as the first 2 worlds, but they again spread across the world, multiplying. This time, however, they started moving into cities, and those cities turned into nations. And they realized that they enjoyed this multiplication thing a whole lot. And they started following their earthly plan of sex and lust and multiplying. And again, the Creator decided this was no good. And so this time he decided that he would rid the world through a flood. But once more, there were those that remembered the Creator. And so the Creator instructed the spider mother to put those that remembered into hollow reeds so that they would float and be safe. She did that. She sealed them in with food, and the Creator flooded this world. As time went by, they were allowed to break out of the reed, and they saw off in the distance a small island. And they said to the spider mother, "Is this where we are to stay and begin multiplying again?" And the spider mother informed them, "No, you have a long, hard journey ahead of you." And so they crossed that island, and they continued going east. And as they crossed that island, they came to the other side, and they had to make reed boats and set back out to sea. And they sailed on. They saw another landmass, and again asked the same question. And again, the answer came back from the spider mother, "No, your journey is to be long and hard. You are to remember the Creator." And so as it went on, 3, 4 times they stopped until they finally ended on this large landmass to the east. Here the Creator came down and said, "Yes, this is where you are to stay. But I admonish you to remember why you're here." And so they crossed that land. And the Hopi people, they settled in between the Colorado River and the Rio Grande River in what we now know as northern Arizona. Now this is a dry, arid place, not a lush, beautiful place. But the Hopi people, they know that they are there because they remember the hardships, and therefore they remember the Creator.